What's up, y'all, and welcome back to Dad Needs to Talk. I am your host, Robert, and today we're going to be talking about Psalm 100, Bucket List of the Dead, Volume 1. I'm going to give my thoughts and impressions on what I think about this volume. So let's get to it. So, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. And if you've been rocking me for a while, just welcome back. So, like I mentioned up top, we're talking about Psalm 100, Volume 1. But before we get to that, if you're not already, please subscribe to my channel, leave a like on this video, and if you've also read or are interested in reading this series, leave a comment down below to let me know what you think, or if what I have to say sounds interesting. So, yeah, Psalm 100, Volume 1. So this is a newer series, at least for me, because I believe it just started, at least like the English prints just started earlier this year of 2021. just to kind of document for time-wise for anybody in the future that might be watching this years down the line, maybe. But yeah, so this series, like I said, I had started hearing good things about it, early in the year when this first volume started coming out. And one thing off the top I want to say is the volume covers for this series, they all stand out so far. So as you can see, volume 1 is freaking bright pink with the splashes of green. And then I also have volume 2, which is this blue with green, and then volume 3 already, which is yellow with some splashes of purple. So when you're out shopping, they stand out and they get your attention. So anywho, so I finally picked this up. Maybe a while back. I've had the first 2 volumes in my collection for probably like a good month, if not more. And so I finally wanted to go ahead and give it a shot. Like I said, I've been hearing good stuff about it, and just looking at the cover, I was like, okay, this seems like something like a fun adventure, that I want to kind of get into. So just kind of up top, just kind of give you like the general synopsis of it, because basically what I'm gonna do is kind of just give like general overall thoughts, and then I'll go into actual spoilers and detailed stuff a little bit later, but I'll give a heads up when I do that. So the general synopsis is: after spending years toiling away for a soul-crushing company, Akira's life has lost its luster. But when a zombie apocalypse ravages his town, it gives him the push he needs to live for himself. Now Akira is on a mission to complete all 100 items on his bucket list before he, kicks the bucket. So our main character's name is Akira Tendo. He is 24 years old. And so, yeah, like I just read in the synopsis, this basically starts off with him basically getting what he thinks is his dream job. And he's like, hey, everybody is so nice. There's a very cute lady in accounting that he instantly gets a crush on, named Otahiri. And yeah, life seems great. The pay seems like it's going to be pretty good. And yeah, but then pretty much that very first day, they go out, for drinks and stuff, which he's thinking for, okay, hey, we finished up work for the day, so hey, we're just going out for drinks and everybody gonna go home. Well, that doesn't happen. They go out for drinks, they party it up, and then when it's all said and done, they end up going back to the office. And of course, he is baffled. Because when they're like, all right, back to the office, he's like, yo, what? To the office? I'm supposed to be going home, man. And so, yeah, then pretty much they end up working like for several days straight. And that pretty much leads him to like instantly realizing like, okay, this might be a bad work situation. And so he ends up going through that for 3 years. 3 years total, until pretty much one day he is over these years, of course, like his enthusiasm has just kind of gone down. He feel like he's pretty much like feeling like lifeless or whatever. And one day he goes to or he notices he has like a 2 month overdue bill for his parking fee for his bike. And so he goes to the main office to go pay. Well, when he walks in on the landlord, he sees a zombie. And I guess that's a slight spoiler for the beginning of the volume, but just to kind of get the general premise out there, whatever. And yeah, he pretty much finds out that like, or notices that like, okay, there's zombies all over the place. He gets outside the building, sees the water's full of zombies, and then the first thought he had originally before he got outside and saw the true level of horror is he's like, oh crap, I'm gonna be late for work. I'm gonna be late for work dealing with these zombies. But then when he gets outside and he sees like, okay, this is like the state of the whole country, world, who knows? Then he's like, wait, does that mean that I don't have to go to work anymore? I'm free. And so he's just all hype, cheering, happy, and he just begins to live his best life. And so he just gets some extra pep in his step, and yeah, that's pretty much like what kicks off this whole adventure. Now, along the way, he ends up reconnecting with a close friend of his, and then he ends up running into another chick that's another. Basically, she's also kind of like going out, and pretty much she's in survival mode like he is, but she is on the opposite side of him as far as like personality wise. And her name was Shizuka Mikuzaki. And so he ends up running into her a little bit, like a couple chapters in. And yeah, she just pretty much just has like I said, like the total opposite mindset of what our main character Akira has, because he is just like, yo, I'm free, I don't have to go to work. And it's just kind of interesting just seeing, just in this first volume, like I said, like as the series is titled, Bucket List of the Dead, he ends up or basically he gets to the point to where he's like, okay, I want to make a checklist of stuff I want to do before I die or get turned into a zombie. Whereas this other chick, like I said, that we meet a little bit later on, she has a bucket list too, but her bucket list is basically how to avoid becoming a zombie. So they're on two different ends of the spectrum. He's just like, hey, how much fun and crazy stuff can I do before I become a zombie? Whereas she's like, hey, what are the essentials? What do I need to do, train, whatever, to avoid becoming a zombie? And so, yeah, that's like I said, it's kind of like the general premise of the series. And yeah, I've freaking this first volume, I freaking loved it. Like I said, it ended up being just what I needed to read at this moment. Cause like I said, it's fun, kind of lighthearted given the situation, of Akira being stuck with all these zombies. But I just love his just fun nature and energy. And honestly, it's taken me a lot of power to wait and not immediately dive into these other volumes, because I was like, no, I want to get a video out talking about my thoughts on the first volume before I, march on further into the series. But so yeah, so like I said, just in general, if you're a fan, or if you're looking for kind of like a post-apocalyptic series, but something that's a little bit more on the comedic side, then this, probably might be something worth looking into and worth picking up. Because like I said, you know, there's nudity and stuff in it, but it's not like super crazy. But the way, like I said, like just the main character's personality, where he's pretty much going on errand runs to the grocery store, and he's passing by his neighbors as he's like uh going down the side of the building, down the scaffolding, and he sees his neighbors outside. He's like, yo, I'm running to the stove. Y'all need anything? Just need some snacks, some beer, whatever. And that's just how lighthearted he is. He's just out just riding his bicycle through the freaking zombie apocalypse. And so just let's do with his just positive vibes and energy. Like I said, just really was like, okay, this is what I need to read right now. And so yeah, if you're looking for like I said, something kind of fun and lighthearted, this definitely might be something worth checking out. Like I said, so far there's only three volumes out, at least in English. 'Cause like I said, they started coming out earlier this year, and Volume 3 literally just came out a couple weeks ago. And I managed to go and snag that. So, yeah, if like I said, if this sounds interesting to you, I highly recommend going and picking it up. And like I said, when you go to look for it, it won't be hard to miss this freaking bright pink cover. But like I said, I love it. I love all the covers for them so far. So, yeah, that's my recommendation to go pick up and check out Zom 100 Volume 1. So now, I'm going to get into some spoilers and a little bit more specific details of some stuff that actually happened throughout the volume. So, if you don't want to hear any spoilers and you just wanted to hear just my general thoughts, now's your time to hop out. But yeah, so let's dive into like a couple of like more specific talking points with this series. So yeah, like I mentioned at the top, whatever, it was just like really interesting. Like I said, just seeing him just kind of go through this like, hey, I got this dream job, and I freaking love like the cute office, the cute lady in the office. I want to date her, da 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 da. And then, like I said, he was there for 3 years, and over the course of those 3 years, he learned early on that the chick Otahiri that he had a crush on was actually the boss's side piece, and her and the boss, they were actually getting it on at work, like middle of the day during work hours. They're in his office banging it out, just hey, no shame, no game, type of deal. And so, of course, when this whole apocalypse thing first happened, one of the first things he thought of, he was like, man, I hope Otahiri's okay. Let me go check on her. And so he goes by her apartment, nervously with her, because his mindset, he just like, hey, I'd rather go and confess to the woman I love than become a zombie. That's kind of like a reoccurring saying of like, hey, I'd rather go do this than become a zombie. And so he goes to check on her, and of course the freaking manager's over there, but the manager is zombified, and he later finds out that Otahiri herself, they both become zombies, unfortunately. And so yeah, and speaking of which, that's something else so far. Like it's like Volume 1. There is no explanation of like why everybody's a zombie, what happened. It's just, hey, he woke up one day, everybody is a zombie. All right. And so yeah, so that moment, like, so like, stood out like, okay, hey, the chick he loved, she became a zombie now. So he's like, well, at least I gave it a shot, but hey, she's a zombie now. So what can you do? And so, like I mentioned a while ago, I really also enjoyed just him just going out on these freaking like little errand runs to the grocery store to pick up stuff. And but it was sad a little bit later on, when he finally came back from one of his like little outings, to see that his neighbors that he be kind of like helping and talking with and getting supplies and stuff for, it looks like something happened and they became zombies, because he comes back and their apartment is just covered in blood and stuff. So yeah, that was sad and that was crazy. Now I did like, I think it was like around like chapter 3 or so, where as he's making his list of stuff he wants to do, one of the things is he wanted to share some time with his best friend, and his best friend name was Kenichiro Ryuzaki. And so he basically ends up getting in touch with his best friend, who happened to be in a hotel room with the girl doing some freaky stuff because she was chained up to the wall. And luckily she was, because she ended up becoming a zombie. But he ends up getting in touch with him. Akira goes to link up with him to try to help him and save him or whatever. And they end up, going to escape the little hotel or whatever, casino, wherever his best friend was at. And so now it seems like, okay, now we have these two guys going to be going or hang out together potentially. I don't know. At least like early on. And I also like the vibe, like I mentioned, of the girl, Shizuka, because one day when he was out going on an errand just to get beer, because he was like, you know what, I finally got my apartment clean. And hey, the world is over, or it's an apocalypse. I want to just chill with a cold beer. And he realizes like, crap, I don't have any beer. So he goes out on a little run, and that's when he runs into her at the grocery store. But they talk whatever. and she's there getting actual survival stuff, like like bandages, certain specific types of like food and drink to survive, and he's just there with just like a 6 pack of beer, and she's like, really? This is what you doing? And so yeah, and she ends up jacking his bike, because a bunch of zombies come into the grocery store, and she ends up ducking and weaving and getting out the way of them. And so when he finally gets outside, she's bolting off on the bike. And so he's like, yo, she took my bike. But anywho, and I like that at the end of the volume, we kind of get that role switch where we now go over to see what she's been doing. And so we see that she is very disciplined to where she has a freaking treadmill and stuff. She's working out every day, which we kind of figured because the first time we see her, she's like, you know, some like athletic shorts, sports bra. She is just like, hey, got the sneakers laced up. She is just ready to go. And so yeah, we kind of like I said, like get like some insight into her because she has freaking maps on the wall where she's kind of like marking off, safe areas or areas with supplies and stuff. And let me see if I can find it real quick. Cause like I said, she is very disciplined. Um, so for her list of 100 things to avoid becoming a zombie, she documents like her strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. She has all this stuff detailed and documented. And for her list, she has like secure food and water, acquire sustainable energy, exercise regularly, minimize sugar intake. That's her type of list. Whereas Akira's list is like, confess to the girl I love, share drinks with a friend, ride a motorcycle, go skydiving. Some of the stuff I'm like, how the hell you gonna go skydiving when everybody's a zombie? Like you gonna find like somebody that's a pilot, like the one person that has piloting skills that's not a zombie, maybe, who knows. One of my favorite ones on his list is grow out dreadlocks. So can you imagine this dude with some dreadlocks? I hope to see it because with him making this list, hopefully he gets to do it, or at least some form or iteration of it. But anywho, yeah, I don't want to know. I'm not gonna go through like the full step-by-step thing, but like I said, I freaking loved it. I also, like I said, just love just how nonchalantly the main character is just going out on errands and stuff, whatever. So, and especially the moment when he finally gets this freaking motorcycle, and he's just freaking Daryl from Walking Dead, just cruising through the city, passing by zombies like it's just a regular day. And yeah, I also one last thing I just want to talk about. One, like that first morning when he kind of realizes like, hey, things is different. He kind of talks about how, he was like, yesterday I saw the world in monochrome, just a black fog closing in on me. But then he's like, today, blue skies, green trees, red blood. It's been so long since I forgot how colorful the world can be. And so, yeah, like I said, very hype, very excited to continue to read this. And so, yeah, I think that's pretty much going to do my thoughts for it. Like I said, I didn't want to go too long. But, yeah, if you have also read Volume 1 of Zom 100, Bucket List of the Dead, hey, let me know in the comments below, like, what you thought or what you think of the series so far. And yeah, so as always, like I mentioned up top, thanks for checking out the video. Thanks for your time. Make sure to subscribe, like, and all that fun stuff. And also, go to dadneedstotalk.com where you can find, links to all the stuff I'm doing, including my podcast, Dad Needs to Talk Podcasts, where we talk about fatherhood, manga, anime, TV show, video games, and so much more. So go check that out. And yeah, hope you guys have an awesome day. I'm supposed to go read some more manga. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. So y'all be cool. Bye and peace.